The more I experience the library of the Sega Saturn, the more I want to go back in time and slap the heck out of whoever was in charge of Sega of America. From Sakura Wars to Bulk Slash, the Saturn's Japanese library got a ton of amazing games. These games not only worked around the system's limitations, but focused on its strengths, creating many unique experiences compared to what we got in the West. While Japan was getting games like Princess Crown and Terra Fantastica, we got Congo and The Crow. Once again, someone really needed a good backhand. Fortunately, this is where fans come in. Thanks to the hard work of many passionate fans, the Saturn's treasure trove of Japanese-only games are slowly being translated and made available to us in the Western world. Today, I'm going to be talking about one such game. Hey there, this is Megablade J, and this is my review of Stellar Assault SS for the Sega Saturn. Stellar Assault SS is a 3D action space shooter. It was made and published by Sims Co. for the Sega Saturn in Japan on February of 1998. Sims Co., or Soft Development Innovation Multi-Success, yeah, I know, great name, is a Japanese developer that's been around since 1991. They've mainly made games under Sega. Some of their works include Let's Fish Hooked On for PS Vita, Master of Darkness on the Master System, and Tempo Jr. on Game Gear. Though most of their game catalog does seem to be made out of fishing games. From what I can tell, this seems to be a remake or sequel of the original Stellar Assault, known as Shadow Squadron in the West, that was released for the Sega 32X. The story of Stellar Assault SS is set in the near future. One day, aliens attack the Earth, but get stomped pretty easily. This unites the people of Earth and they prep for the next Assault from the Stars, or Stellar Assault. 2 years later, the aliens returned much stronger than before, but once again, Earth was able to push them back, but just barely. 2 more years have passed, and once again, the aliens have returned with tech and tactics to rival the Earth's. They even managed to launch a sneak attack while the main Earth fleet was on a wild goose chase. Now, it's up to you and the reserve team to disrupt the aliens' plans and stall them until the main fleet returns. I've always been a fan of sci-fi, and this game's story scratched that itch. What helps bring the game to life is the chatter from your teammates. There's a ton of spoken dialogue, and thanks to the translation team, every line is fully voiced in English. While the main character is silent, the rest of your team is super chatty, and reminds me a lot of Star Fox.
Hawk 1 to all Hawk units. We're off.
Mission area coordinates confirmed. Time to jump.
Hey Birdie, how's that fancy new AI module working for you? Even your support craft talks now.
That's right, Captain. Call me Maria. I'm Kite 3's AI module. They've even test outfitted me with an experimental emotion chip. I have my own feelings and personality. Let's be pals.
Greetings, Captain McPherson. This is Edgar, Hawk 3's AI unit. Coinciding with Maria's arrival, I too have been test outfitted with an experimental emotion chip. Mine, however, has been configured to sound less comical.
Comical? Robbie, tell this tin can not to be so rude.
Sounds like you got a full house there, Robbie.
Captain, save the dumb jokes for later. We're coming up on the mission area.
Whoops. Sounds like those two aren't the only ones with emotion chips.
Captain.
All right.
Your teammates have distinct personalities, and during a mission will give you story details, hints on what to do, and spout cheesy one-liners. The voices sound straight out of a game from the PS1 era, and I love it. This translation was done by the same team that worked on the English translation of Bulk Slash. As such, this project had the same TLC applied to it, and it shows. Stellar Assault SS plays pretty similar to Star Fox's all-range mode, but has a few features to set it apart. First, you have full 360 degrees of movement and can fly in any direction. This can be a bit disorienting when tracking fast-moving foes, but fortunately you have a radar. Red or yellow marks will appear on the edge of the screen to show where the enemy is. When they get into view, it marks them and makes it easier to see and target them against the background. You can also activate a defensive force field, boost to cover a lot of ground, or fire a regular or special charge attack, which can wipe out larger foes, but is a big drain on your energy. Oh yeah, the energy meter. As you fly, shoot, shield, or use your special attack, your energy will deplete. Once your energy runs out, it's game over. It's good to keep an eye on it, but it drains really slowly on its own. So unless you're spamming your special, it shouldn't be an issue. The game is broken up into various missions. There is some variety, but most missions break down to go blow up bad aliens. Fortunately, blowing stuff up is fun and missions are too long. Once you know what you're doing, the bulk of the missions can be completed in around 8 to 15 minutes, which does help with pacing. The Saturn was said to be bad at doing 3D graphics. Games like this and Bulk Slash prove that wrong and show what the system can do when in the right hands. Stellar Assault SS uses a mixture of 2D sprites and 3D models. The combo of the two look great in motion. It has surprisingly good draw distance, battles with large foes, lots of ships to blow up, and barely any slowdown. Now, I will admit, I do think that Star Fox 64 looks better, but the low polygons give this game its own charm. For example, there's one mission on a planet that lets you fly down through a layer of clouds and burst through to see the ocean and a bunch of little islands. It was a really impressive effect seeing nothing but clouds and then, bam, ocean. I can't think of a modern game that's given me that, oh wow, that was cool feeling in a long time. Now, while I adored this game, it did have a few issues. One major problem is that there's no way to save your progress. From what I can tell, in the original version, you had to complete the whole game with only 3 lives in one sitting. This game can be challenging your first time through, especially around the end, and took me around 4 hours to beat it. It's doable with practice, but I can imagine it causing a lot of frustration back in the day. Fortunately, the translation team took pity on us and made it so you had unlimited lives. Oddly enough, what it does save is a recording of your gameplay of each mission. You can re-watch your gameplay in the regular view or in a cinematic third-person mode. While neat, I'd much rather have a save feature. While flying around in the openness of space was fun, I found it took more skill and patience to navigate the more closed-off environments. Every once in a while, you'll fly into an enemy base with a low roof or through a very tight tunnel. In these areas, I found myself dying multiple times due to flying too fast and bouncing between the floor and roof. Once you learn to slow down and be more careful, it's not so bad, but it can be frustrating in the meantime. While the game is pretty short, lasting about 4 hours your first run, there is a normal and hidden true ending that can be found by performing certain acts in a few of the missions. The 2 controllable ships can add some replay value. Both play pretty similar, but one has homing missiles and the other can cancel out enemy shots. It seems like a small change, but I had to readjust my playstyle when I had to avoid enemy shots versus blasting straight through them. The game was only released in Japan, but there is an English translation online. Once again, thank you, translation team. You did an amazing job with this. Looking forward to your next work. Princess Crown. Excuse me. If you want a physical copy, you're going to be paying a pretty penny. At the time of this review, the game sells for $250 for just the game, up to $750 for a complete game with the original case. I really enjoyed playing Stellar Assault SS. It had great 3D graphics, fun space shooter combat, and amazing English voice work that's straight out of the 90s. I highly recommend it to fans of 3D space shooters, cheesy 90s games, or anything Star Fox related. This has been Mega Blade J. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe for more of my Let's Plays, reviews, and my poor attempts at entertaining you all. Thanks for watching. See you all next mission. Bye.